In today's tutorial, I'm going to share with you the final part of knowing the basic tools in Photoshop as a beginner. Join me and let's get started. Hi everybody, my name is Bright. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, kindly consider subscribing, and if you are old, thanks for returning. In today's tutorial, I'm going to share with you some of the basic tools you need to know as a beginner in Photoshop. In the recent videos, that's the part 1 and part 2, we talked about some of the tools, and today we are going to end it with the part 3. That's the final part of it. Let's set it off. In our recent video, we ended at the paint bucket tool, and as I said earlier, the 3D material drop tool is for the advanced level, so we will talk about that one during our advanced tutorial. So today the next tool we are going to talk about is the blur tool, but let's create a new project so that we can use it to. I'll click on open. I just want to use an image to do this illustration, so I want to use this image. Now the blur tool is simply used for blurring an image. So if I select the blur tool, I can choose the size of my brush here. Then let me zoom it. I will hold Control, then hit on plus on my keyboard just to blur just to zoom so that you can know it, you can see it very well. Let me reduce the size of the brush here. Very good. Now let me blur the face. As you can see where the mouse cursor is being moved is blurred. You just click around, or you click and hold and use to move around. That's the work of the blur tool. And the sharpen tool is also the opposite of the blur tool. It is used for sharpening, or let me say adding a little bit of noise to an image or a part of an image. So I will select the sharpen to increase the size of my brush. I want to sharpen this area, so you see the area is being sharpened. That's it. Wherever you click around, you just sharpen that area. So I can even choose to sharpen the hand here. That's the work. You see, it will add a little bit of noise to the area you want to sharpen. Now the next tool is the smudge tool. Smudge tool is also let me bring this side. It is also used for blurring. It works like the blur tool. You see, as I click on, you can see that it is blurring in a particular way. So it is almost the same as the blur tool. It's used for blurring some part of image or in a part of an image. That's also the work of the smudge tool. The next tool you're going to talk about is the dodge tool. Here, let me zoom out so that you see it very well. Okay, so here let me choose another image, then use it to work on the dodge tool for you to see. So I will choose, I will choose any image at all. Just depends on you, the image you want to. So I will choose this image. The dodge tool is simply used to add some kind of brightness to the image. So as I select the dodge tool, see that wherever I click or brush the bounce around, that place becomes very brighter. That's the work of the dodge tool. Now the bend tool is the opposite form of the dodge tool. It is used to add some darkness or some sort of darkness to the brighter part of an image. So as you can see, wherever I use the brush or I click on the mouse, that place becomes a little bit darker or deeper. That's the work of the bend tool. Just bend it. Now let's talk about the sponge tool. The sponge tool. The sponge tool is also almost the same as the bend tool. It has some kind of saturation and remove saturation, some kind of darkness to a particular part of an image. That's the work of the just remove saturation, that something like that. So these are the works of these three tools: the dodge tool, the bend tool, and the sponge tool. Now we are going to talk about the pen tool. The pen tool, as the name is telling us, just a pen. So let me create a new project. I'll go to new, then select 5 by 5 inches here, then click on OK. We're coming to write with the pen. So let me zoom. You hold control, then you hit the plus key to zoom. Now let me draw. It's used for drawing and other stuffs. So you can see, click on it. Now come to the next one. Click on it just for anything the pen does. This tool also do the same thing. So like that. Assuming I want to draw something, I will use the pen tool to draw that for you. So that's the work of the pen tool. So we can also we can also use it to draw shapes like this. Any shape at all you want to draw, it is allowed. You can use the pen tool to draw. You can use the pen tool to make selection. Let me demonstrate it here. After drawing or after selecting the path I want to select, I will bring it back to the origin, click on it, then come up here to click on select. Make selection, then click on OK. You see that all the drawing I've made here will change to a selection. Then, as we said in the earlier video, whatever you do will affect the selected part or the selection made. That's the work of the pen tool. You can use to even do remove background. You make your selection, then you press on delete. It will remove the background of an image. Very good. So let's deselect. Control plus D will deselect. Now the pen tool is also there with another tool. That's the freeform pen tool. As the name implies, free handwriting. So you can use to write freely whatever you want to do. After that, you make your selection if only you wish to make a selection. Very good. Control D to deselect. You can also use it to draw. Let me say I want to draw this thing. Yeah, it's just a freehand sketch. So that's the work of the pen tool. Now the next tool you're going to talk about is the text tool. The text is used for producing text, used for writing. So I'll select the text tool, then click at an empty space or wherever I want to write, then type the thing I want to do. Maybe say I want to here GH and okay, that's it. That's the work of the type tool. After typing something, I can toggle the character and paragraph panel. So I'll click on this one to show up this thing here. Very good. If I click on it to show up, this gives you the chance to edit whatever text you are having here. So after bringing this thing here, let me take it. Okay. So after bringing this thing here, I will now go back to select my move tool to activate what I want to edit. So you see the move tool has been selected. I can choose the font. I can change the fonts. So I can, let me say I want to use this font. You see the font will change. Let me say I want to use this one. The font will change. So I can change the font here. Same as I can change the size of my text. So I will click on this chevron, then choose the size they have already given me. Maybe I want to increase it to 60. So choose it. It will increase. If not that, you can also double click on the number there to type your own number. So I want to decrease it to, let me say 20. So I'll type in 20, then press enter. Then it will decrease the size for me. If not that too, you can also bring the cursor on the text symbol here, then move it forward to increase it. As you move forward, see the number will be increasing. Then okay, like this. You can also move it backwards to decrease the size like this. So that's the work for this one too. You can also check the spacing and other stuffs. You can choose the color for the text. You can choose a different color. So let me say I want to choose red for the text. See, I've selected red. I want to choose yellow. I'll come here, choose my yellow. I want to choose, let me say green. I'll come here, choose my green. Depends on you, whatever you want to do. So just play along with it to get yourself familiar with it. So that's also the text tool for you. The text tool, you can also type in the vertical form. You see, as you type in vertical form, you click here, then the cursor will now appear, but rather in a vertical form. So um now I'm typing, but I'm typing, let me check it. Okay, correct. I'm typing in a vertical form, and this one is in the horizontal form. Every editing we did on the horizontal one can also be applied on the vertical one. So that's the test tool for you, the test tool for now. Now, the one of the most important tool as a graphic designer you need to know is the shape tool. The shape tool is for drawing shapes. Whatever we do here, most of our works is in shape. So let me delete this one. I'll click on the layer, press delete, click on the layer, then press delete. Very good. So I'm coming to draw a shape. Already we have the rectangle tool here, so it is telling us that we are going to draw a rectangle. So I can draw the rectangle nicely. Now you see it is having color red already. As the shape tool has been selected, you come upstairs to change your color. That's fill. You can fill your color with, let me say I want to change it to blue. I can change it to blue. The next one there is also stroke. When we say stroke, stroke is simply the borderline around the shape. So let me say the borders around the shape. Now it's not having any color, so I'll click on it, then choose a color for it. Maybe I want to give it a red stroke. You see, it is now having a red stroke nicely. And there's one thing I want to let you know. When you hold the shift key, it gives you a perfect square. But if you don't hold the shift key, you can adjust it by drawing a rectangle or something like that. That's the work of the rectangle, the rectangular shape tool. Now let's go and talk about the next tool there. That's the rounded rectangle. Rounded rectangle is a rectangle, but it is having a rounded edge. If you hold the shift key, it will give you a rounded square. So if I hold it like this, you see it's a rounded rectangle very nicely. Now see, you can see that the edges are somehow round. You can adjust the radius here. Let me say I want to give it 50. Okay, now I'll draw another rectangle. You see, so the more you adjust the radius, the more the roundness appears. So that one too, you can also change the color and the stroke and other stuffs. That's the work of the rounded rectangle. There's another shape there called the ellipse tool. Ellipse tool is also used for drawing circle. So if I don't hold shift, then I just select this ellipse to draw it. I can draw it as the oval shape or a circular shape. However I want to do it, I can do it. I can also change the color and other stuffs as we did for the square earlier. So I'll change the color to blue, click on OK, then I'll get a color blue. I can give it a stroke too. Now if I hold shift and I draw the if I hold shift and I choose the ellipse tool, it will give me a perfect circle. You see, perfect circle. Here I can't change it to oval or other stuffs. It will give me a perfect circle. So if I hold shift whilst I'm using a rectangle, it will give me a perfect square. If I hold shift whilst I'm using the rounded rectangle, it will give me a rounded square. Same as if I hold shift whilst I'm using the circle, it will give me whilst I'm using the ellipse, it will give me a perfect circle. Now the next one here is the polygon tool. It is used for drawing polygons. So you notice something. As I selected the polygon tool, I can draw it. That one too, like this. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's five-sided shape. You can come here, select the number of sides. Let me say I want to draw 8-sided shape. So I'll select 8. I'll type 8 and press enter. Now the shape I will draw will be the 8-sided shape. That's it. Okay, let me move it inside. I can also come here once I select the polygon to change it to, let me say 3 and press enter. The shape I will draw here will be a 3-sided shape. So that's the work of it. And in all, there are also some custom shapes Photoshop will already produce. But before that, let's talk about the line. Simply for drawing lines, you click on it, then you draw your line. That's it. The custom shape is also there. You select the custom shape here, then you come upstairs here, click on this chevron to choose the shape you want. You can download some of the shape in addition. As time goes on, you will learn all this. So let me say I want to draw this shape here. So I want to draw this arrow here, click on it, then come back to my custom shape. See, the arrow has been selected. If I choose another shape here, this one, you see it has also been selected, so I can draw it nicely. If I hold shift, it will give me a perfect shape, but if I don't hold a shift, I can just do it whatever I want to do it, stretch it, crumble it, and other stuffs. So that's it. It depends on you. Just play with it. See here, this one too, you can also change the color, but make sure you have first selected the shape too before you come to change the color and other stuffs. And always make sure that you have shape selected, not path, shape. So you have shape selected here. You can also change the stroke. You can add stroke to it and other stuffs. So that's it for you have the hand tool too. The hand tool is simply used for rotating the project you are working on. You click on the rotate tool too. You can rotate it and other stuffs. The hand tool is also there. You can just play with it. Though I haven't worked with these tools before, if I want to rotate, I will just transform and rotate. I will show you all that too. Now the zoom tool, as the name is telling us, it is used for zooming. So if I select the zoom tool and click, you see it will be zooming, in. That's it. Now if I hold alt key, now it will change to minus, meaning it is zooming out, making it smaller. Now if I don't hold the alt key, it will make it bigger, but if I hold the alt key, it will make it smaller. And that's it. This tool here is the background and the foreground color. Default, whenever you open it, the background color here is white, the foreground color here is black, but you can change it. So you can click on it to choose your color. Maybe I want to make it red, then okay. So whatever I select, and most of the times if I use the brush tool or the paint bucket tool, the foreground color here will be used, the color I will select here. Now let me say the background color tool is also there. I want to also make that one to black, and that's it. So my background color also be black. And if you want to exchange it for the red to turn to the background and the black to turn to the foreground, you click on this arrow here and you exchange it. And also if you want to bring it back to default as it was initially, then you click on these two boxes here to change it. That's it. This one too is a edit in quick max mode. I don't normally use it, but you can also play along with it. Now this tool is used for changing your screen mode either to full screen, or let me say a standard screen or other stuffs. So we have a standard screen, have a full screen mode here with menu bar. We have a the other one, full screen mode. So you just play along with it. These are some of the tools you need to know. That's the basic tools you need to know as a beginner when starting Photoshop. Let me see your questions and your suggestions in the comment section. If there is anything you don't understand, then I'll go back and retreat it. Now in our next video, we're going to start doing some simple designs. Alongside, whilst we are doing the design, then I'll be using that one to also be teaching you other things in Photoshop. Now, if this sounds like something you're interested, then kindly consider subscribing. Meet you in the next video. Thank you.